You hate me, don't you?
Kons podcast.
You hate me, don't you?
Hit that like button, subscribe and share.
You hate me, don't you?
Constant content.
Yo, Silento, whatever you want to say his name, Mr. Webb. Not be name, you know what I mean, Webb. Ice Cube been in the headlines, you know what I'm saying, for this recent interview that he did and said that the CIA had the clip and what happened of Trump spazzing out on this reporter for asking that nigga about Epstein. Check it out. Dwight Howard's wife recently has filed for divorce from this nigga. They was on the other side, that nigga unaligned his own cousin. This some Jay-Z shit. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what's going on. Making sure everything is right and shit. You know what I mean? Making sure everything is right. What's up, though? What's happening, y'all? You know what I'm saying? I got an episode for you. You know what I mean? It's gonna be episode 274 today. Episode 274. Let me plug all this shit in, man. I'm in a rush. Shit, got a whole lot to do today. You know what I mean? Whole busy motherfucking day today. You feel me? So let's get these topics in. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, welcome in, though. This your first time in. You know what I mean? Welcome in. You know what I'm saying? It's the Kons podcast. You feel me? It's where we cover the headlines, cover the news, cover whatever's going on, whatever done went viral, whatever done hit your face in a headline, whatever done hit you in the face with whatever headline you might have seen, with whatever you logged on, when you logged on to the internet, whether your homepage be MSNBC, Yahoo, Google, you know what I'm saying? Hip Hop DX, wherever it is that you get your little information from, you know what I mean? I'm probably touching on one of them headlines right here on Kons podcast. You feel me? So if you just subscribe, be here to stay, kick your feet up, you know what I mean? Come lounge and vibe with a nigga, you know what I mean? As we go over topics and shit, and situations and current situations of the world, you know what I mean? Touching on all that shit, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, though, you know what I mean? It's episode 274 today. I hope all y'all doing cool, you feel me? It's late in the afternoon, it's 4:28, you know what I'm saying? On Wednesday, July the 9th, you know what I mean? Wednesday, July the 9th, and it's 4:28 in the afternoon. I gotta take my son to swimming, gotta be there at 5, so, yeah, you know what I mean? Hope y'all enjoyed last episode, you know, it's episode 273, where I let you know about Mellow Bucks, you know what I'm saying, about her record release party getting shot up. 18 people was laid down, 4 of them was expired on the scene. That should let you know that Diddy's former chef came out and had something to say, said she don't want this nigga to get out either. Same shit Cassie's best friend Deontay Nash was saying, and also said he'd be tampering with witnesses. You know what I mean? I guess his attorney had offered to pay for her fees and shit like that, and she said that's tampering with witnesses. Yeah, you know what I mean? Also let you know the Whack 100 explained that badge that we all seen him got. He definitely explained it and broke it down. I just showed you the clip where he was breaking it all down, and god damn it, I need one of them motherfuckers too. Shit. But yeah, that was episode 273. Episode 274. You know what I'm saying? Got too much for you. You know what I'm saying? We're just gonna touch on the rapper Silento. I didn't know what happened to dude, you know what I'm saying? So this may be old news to you, may not be, you know what I'm saying? But I think he recently just got the gavel dropped on him. We're gonna touch on that. You know, if you don't know who that is off the name, that's Mr. Webb. And watch me nay. Now watch me Webb, watch me nay, whatever the fucking dance is you youngsters was doing, you feel me? We're gonna touch on Ice Cube, you know what I'm saying? Recently made headlines for a little interview he did and got a little bit political, you know what I mean? We're gonna touch on that. And Trump was asked about the Epstein, and he spazzed out on the reporter in the middle of a conference. We're gonna touch on that. And Dwight Howard's wife filed for a divorce from him. They only been together 6 motherfucking months. That's the topics we're gonna touch on today for episode 274. So without further ado, you feel me? Without no more banter, let's jump right into these topics, you know what I'm saying? So rapper Silento, whatever you want to say his name, Mr. Webb, and not be name, you know what I mean, Webb, however you do that motherfucking dance. Everybody in the 2000s was doing that shit was stupid fucking viral. He made a shitload of money off the shit, but apparently he had a whole bunch of mental challenges, you know what I'm saying, for a long time, since he was 12, it said, you know what I mean? So he has been just dropped the gavel on him for 30 years in prison. You know what I'm saying? For unaliving his own cousin. You know what I'm saying? He unalived his own cousin, Mr. Silento. Real name is Richard Hawk, who he was born as. You know what I'm saying? We all know him as Mr. Silento, Mr. Watch Me Nay Nay. You know what I mean? Is going to do it 30 years. He also had history of threatening people with a hatchet and some speeding charges. You know what I mean? So yeah, this next little video you about to see is just a video in detail of what happened to Mr. Whip and Watch Me Nay Nay. Check this shit out.
Rapper Silento has been arrested with murder charges. Silento, known for the viral success of his hit song Watch Me Whip and Nay Nay, was arrested Monday and charged with murder in the shooting death of his 34-year-old cousin. The DeKalb County Police Department is reportedly holding the rapper without bond. Silento previously faced 2 felony assault charges after allegedly threatening 2 people with a hatchet in Los Angeles. He was also previously arrested in Atlanta for driving 143 miles per hour when the speed limit was 65. TMZ is reporting that the rapper's family is banding together to support him, and his manager released a statement to fans about his battle with mental health issues. His attorney tells TMZ, quote, he needs a psychiatric evaluation ASAP.
Rapper Silento was sentenced to 30 years in prison. Rapper Silento has just been sentenced to 30 years in prison. The reason? A shocking and tragic crime that has shaken fans around the world. In early 2021, Silento, real name Richard Lamar Hawk, was arrested after being accused of fatally shooting his own cousin, Frederick Rooks. The incident happened late at night in a quiet Georgia neighborhood. Witnesses reported hearing multiple gunshots, and security cameras caught Silento's car at the scene just minutes before the murder. Police later discovered a weapon that matched the bullets used in the killing. Investigators say Silento had been dealing with deep paranoia and mental health struggles. He allegedly believed his cousin was plotting against him. That fear drove him to commit an irreversible act. Prosecutors argued that the attack was intentional and planned, with no signs of self-defense or hesitation. During the trial, emotional testimonies revealed how Silento's fame quickly turned into a downward spiral, marked by delusions, isolation, and dangerous behavior. Despite his mental state being taken into account, the judge ruled that the crime was too severe to overlook. Now, the rapper who once had the world dancing will spend the next 30 years behind bars. Promising career lost, a life taken, family
You see, you know what I'm saying? I was just detailing the issues with him, and he got the gavel dropped on him for 30 years. You know what I mean? Ice Cube been in the headlines, you know what I'm saying, for this recent interview that he did, and said that the CIA is running a psyop and using gangster rap to do it, to keep the youth and keep people in the prison system so that they can keep that business lit for themselves. You know what I'm saying? He also went on to say that they've been using this shit, and a lot of these orders is getting signed, and they have songs and albums made by a committee, he said. You know what I'm saying? Which is a team of people who get together and say, yeah, this sound hot, say that. Yeah, this sound dope, say this. This sound dope, say that. Here, we gonna write this, get somebody to write this for you, we get somebody to write the hook for you, all you gotta do is perform it. You know what I'm saying? By a committee. So he's exposing all this. So this recently came back in the headlines. This is an old interview, I believe. You know what I'm saying? I believe this interview with a dude named Brian Turner. I think that's him. I don't know. But if y'all know who the dude is, let me know in the comments who the dude is that's interviewing him in this clip you about to see. Check it out.
Rap music. Let's take it. Same people who own the labels own the prisons. So, literally the same people who own the labels own private prisons. So, you know, it seems really kind of suspicious, if you want to say that word, that, you know, the records that come out are really geared to push people towards that prison industry. But they didn't make you write those lyrics. It's not about making somebody write the lyrics. It's about being there as guardrails to make sure certain songs make it through and certain songs don't. Certain flavors are exposed on the record. You know, some records are made by committee, meaning record company guys sit around and tell the artists, this is hot, say that, do this. We're gonna have this guy write the lyrics. We're gonna have that. So the narrative is really kind of, structured and really made into what the record company want the record to be, and what a lot of artists are frustrated with this kind of music making. A lot of people, feel like they're being controlled by the label.
You know what I'm saying? That was Ice Cube getting real controversial and political on the nigga, real deep thought and conspiracy theory based all those niggas and shit. You know what I'm saying? But Ice Cube been doing that, you feel me? That ain't his first time. So Donald Trump, you know what I'm saying, was recently at a conference, you feel me? At some type of little conference, a whole bunch of high execs sitting around him where they had these little meetings and shit, you know what I'm saying? And the reporter by the name of Pam Bondi asked the nigga about Epstein, you know what I'm saying? Because we all know, you know what I'm saying, we think his name was involved with the little Epstein little black book. His name was on there, you feel me? So she had asked him about it in the middle of the shit, and he spazzed on her. Like, what? You talking about Epstein? What the fuck are you talking about? We got Texas going on, the floods happening, we got the wars going on, and you want to ask me about Epstein? We still talking about this guy? You know what I mean? So that's how he responded to shit, kind of spazzed out on the reporter and shit. She was like, you know what I mean? Yeah, I got the files sitting on my table, you feel me? JFK files, the MLK files, the Kennedy files, you know what I'm saying? The Epstein files all sitting on my table ready to be reviewed, she said, you feel me? So this next little clip you're about to see is just the clip and what happened of Trump spazzing out on this reporter for asking that nigga about Epstein. Check it out.
Talking about Jeffrey Epstein? This guy's been talked about for years. You're asking, we have Texas, we have this, we have all of the things. And are people still talking about this guy, this creep? That is unbelievable. Do you want to waste the time, and do you feel like answering?
I don't mind answering.
I mean, I can't believe you're asking a question on Epstein at a time like this.
In February, I did an interview on Fox, and it's been getting a lot of attention because I said, I was asked a question about the client list.
The DOJ may be releasing the list of Jeffrey Epstein's clients? Will that really happen?
It's sitting on my desk right now to review. That's been a directive by President Trump. I'm reviewing that. I'm reviewing JFK files, MLK files. That's all in the process of being reviewed. And my response was, it's sitting on my desk to be reviewed, meaning the file along with the JFK, MLK files as well. That's what I meant.
And released yesterday in Jeffrey Epstein. It left some lingering mysteries.
Yeah, sure. If
Could I just interrupt for 1 second? Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein? This guy's been talked about for years. You're asking, we have Texas, we have this, we have all of the things. And are people still talking about this guy, this creep? That is unbelievable. Do you want to waste the time, and do you feel like answering?
I don't mind answering.
I mean, I can't believe you're asking a question on Epstein at a time like this, where we're having some of the greatest success and also tragedy with what happened in Texas. It just seems like a desecration, but
you know what I'm saying? That was the Trump spazzing out on the reporter for asking him about Epstein. You know what I'm saying? Dwight Howard, you know what I mean? Dwight Howard's wife recently has filed for divorce from this nigga. They was only together 6 months. You know what I'm saying? Said the marriage is irretrievably can't be revived. You know what I mean? Pretty much is what she said. You know what I mean? She filed for divorce. They was only together 6 months. She also go by the name of Amy Luciano. It's her little online name. You know what I'm saying? First she said she wanted equally half the millions in his assets and shit that he got. She wanted equally of that. You know what I'm saying? Should be split down the middle. And then she came out and said she don't want shit from him. You know what I mean? She didn't sign no prenup and this and that. You know what I mean? Or I think she said she wanted to sign I don't know, something along that nature. You feel me? But Angela Lee gonna break it all down for you. This next little clip you about to see is Angela Lee speaking on this Dwight Howard situation with his wife filing for divorce after they was only together 6 motherfucking months. Check it out.
Somebody you guys interviewed on the podcast and we've interviewed up here, Dwight Howard.
Yeah.
According to reports, Amy Luciani has filed for divorce after 6 months of marriage. Now, there was a report that she wants all of their marital assets and property to be equitably divided by the courts, but she posted, I plan on speaking on this one time only. To this day, have never asked him for a single dollar, not 30 cents. I don't know why she said that random number. Before we married, I asked to sign a prenup. I texted right to him. I told him I want to sign a prenup because I believe what you work for is yours, and I'm not the type of woman to take what's not mine. I mentioned a prenup first. He declined. I do not want any of his assets. I do not want half of anything that he earned or obtained before me.
That's rough. I feel for Dwight. When he was on 7 p.m. in Brooklyn, he was there with his wife and he looked as happy as ever. And I feel for him because there's always talk about his personal life outside of like the greatness that he had on the court. And I think, you know, the news of this coming out is only gonna intensify that. You know, I feel bad for him. But
well, I do want to say he was amazing on Dancing with the Stars. Aside from all of this,
yeah, he was awesome.
I was watching. I was like, "What's Dwight Howard going to do today?" He had the moves for somebody so tall.
As you see, you know the sounds Angela speaking on the Dwight Howard situation about his wife divorcing him after 6 months. Know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's all the topics I got for you today. You feel me? Quick little folk topics. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing going on in the hip hop world where I usually get my information from. There's nothing on that site. They ain't updated that shit in 3-4 days. You feel me? So I don't know. I had to find other shit to talk about. You know what I'm saying? But I found. Yo, what's up? Excuse me. Pardon this interruption. You know what I'm saying? But this is a time in the middle of this episode where you can hit that subscribe button. You know what I'm saying? If you ain't hit it yet and you enjoying this constant content of Kons podcast, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. You feel me? If you ain't hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. If you ain't hit the like button, hit the share button. You know what I'm saying? And if you ain't shared this shit, hit the subscribe button. You know what I mean? And go back down the list, hit the like button and comment. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, go ahead and do that shit right now. Hit that subscribe button, man. You know what I'm saying? I promise you, you ain't gonna be disappointed and catch all this content. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you hit that bell too, so that you get notified whenever I drop an episode. You know what I'm saying? Let's get back to this episode, though. Some topics, though. You feel me? So today, in episode 274, I'll just let you know that the rapper Silento, Mr. Whip, and Watch Me Nay Nay, nigga been hit with 30 years for unaliving his own cousin. Also let you know that Ice Cube been in headlines recently for making headlines about the shit he was talking about when he was talking to, I believe the dude name is Brian Turner. I'm not sure if that's his name, but there was an interview going around where he's talking about how the government used gangster rap as a psyop on society. Also let you know that Trump had spazzed on the reporter when she had asked the nigga about Epstein and if his name was on the list. Then I just let you know about Dwight Howard, how his wife is divorcing him after motherfucking 6 months. So for the closing thoughts, for Kons' final thoughts, Kons' closing thoughts, whatever you want to call it. You know what I'm saying? What was up first? Silento. So Silento, you know what I'm saying? Mr. Webb. Watch me, Nay Nay. You know, watch me, Web. Watch me, Nay Nay. You feel me? That nigga, you know what I'm saying? That nigga unalived his own cousin. Did some Jay-Z shit. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what was the reason of him offing his own cousin. You feel me? But the judge just recently dropped the gavel on that nigga. Gave that nigga 30 motherfucking years in prison. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, you need that though. You know what I mean? You unalived your own cousin. You feel me? But apparently this dude needed help a long time ago. You know what I'm saying? They said he had mental issues since nigga was 12. You know what I'm saying? And he had recently history, priors and shit. Nigga was threatening people with a goddamn hatchet. God damn it, what the fuck? Nigga, he was threatening niggas with a mini axe, my nigga. A hatchet is a little axe, my nigga. He was gonna chop niggas up or something. Like, goddamn, that shit wild. That's not your average threat with average weapon. You know what I'm saying? And then he had some speed and shit. You know what I mean? Doing like 70 and 35 mile an hour zone and shit like that. So, dude had a little track record. You know what I'm saying? Apparently, he had some mental issues and shit. You feel me? So, I don't know if he was able to get the help that he needed, and he just spiraled out of control for not being able to get the help. I don't know. You feel me? But unaliving your own family member is something crazy. You know what I'm saying? I can't think of anything in the world that can make me be like, yeah, I'm finna body you. I'm gonna have to body you. And I'm talking about, you feel me, a cousin. You know what I mean? Me personally, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? That's deep. You feel me? So yeah, judge just dropped 30 years on him. I was wondering what happened to dude. You know what I'm saying? But I guess now I know. Shit, I didn't know. You feel me? I guess this news came out in like June. I guess he got arrested in like 2020. 2024 though. You know what I'm saying? But they just, I guess, after all the shit, the trial and shit, I guess they just get that nigga 30 years. You feel me? Ice Cube just recently made headlines for the shit he was saying. You know what I'm saying that the government is using gangster rap shit as psyops and shit. You know what I mean? And said that these artists get assigned to a committee. Committee is creating these albums and shit like that. You feel me? All that shit is true though. That ain't no new news to me. You know what I'm saying? Ice Cube definitely been on this type of time though. I don't know if we know or knew, you feel me? But Ice Cube been on that type of time. You know what I'm saying? He been on the exposing shit. He'd been, put a bill together, try to get black people paid and try to get black people real reparations for real. All that shit, he been trying to do all that shit, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know, I just feel like Ice Cube need to be protected out here, you know what I mean? Because he exposing some of the deadliest shit, the shit that people want to body you for, you know what I'm saying? These motherfucking government faceless niggas that you don't see, you feel me? He's speaking against them type niggas, and them type niggas is the ones that'll get you cut off, you know what I'm saying? That's a fact, you feel me? So Ice Cube better be careful out here, you know what I'm saying? Being that these interviews and shit is coming back to light, you know what I mean? Where he talking about, they use the music industry and using gangster rap and rap music, you know what I mean, to keep people in prisons and all this kind of shit. That's exposing their little plans and shit like that. They don't like that type of shit, you know what I mean? So we gotta protect Ice Cube, you know what I'm saying, before he fuck around and come talking about he's sick and had to go to the hospital and shit, you know what I mean? So we don't want none of that shit to happen to Mr. Cube, you know what I mean? He's a motherfucking legend out here, you feel me? Trump spazzed on a reporter for asking the nigga about Epstein, if he was on the fucking files, if he was in this nigga's little black book or not, you know what I'm saying? Nigga spazzed out on it real fast, you feel me? He was like, what the fuck? He asked me about Epstein. We got shit going on, floods in Texas, we got wars going on, Israel, Iran, bombs being dropped, and you asking me about this guy? I mean, Trump is funny, you know what I'm saying? That nigga be doing and saying a whole lot of funny shit, you know what I mean? I don't know, it's weird the way that America is trying to shape him out to be, you know what I'm saying? When he just wasn't that guy when we were all growing up, you know what I'm saying? Rappers was using this nigga in lyrics and shit like that. He was looking out for black people, you know what I'm saying? He flew Nelson Mandela home, you feel me, when he got out and all this type of shit, you know what I'm saying? He was involved in black politics and shit, you feel me? We wasn't calling the nigga a racist then, you know what I'm saying? 10 years ago type shit, you feel me? All of a sudden, he just a racist. Motherfuckers, you know what I mean? They're teaching you to hate the nigga, you feel me? I don't get involved in politics, you know what I'm saying? I don't give a fuck what he doing, what he got going, you know what I'm saying? But some of the shit he be saying is funny. I can't, it's just unfiltered. We don't really hear that type of shit from presidents, you know what I'm saying? I don't know, the shit just was funny the way he spazzed out on that reporter, you know what I mean, for asking a nigga about Epstein, you know what I'm saying? But now you the one that's releasing the files, you know what I'm saying? You the one that's putting the files out there, the Kennedy files, the Martin Luther King files, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? You the one that is releasing that shit, you feel me? So if we happen to find out that your name was on that Epstein list, nigga, you the one that gave us full-blown permission to find out and see, goddammit, you know what I'm saying? But now they trying to say it never was no list of names and shit like that. Oh, bullshit, trying to cover up for that nigga in his death and shit. You know what I'm saying? Dwight Howard, you know what I mean? Dwight Howard, ex-wife filed for divorce from that nigga after only 6 months. Only 6 months, said they marriage is irretrievably, or it can't be retrieved. You feel me? Can't be resolved or none of that shit. I don't know what the fuck happened, you know what I'm saying? To where all of a sudden it's like, damn, I don't want to make it work after 6 months of dedicating your life and going through a ceremony and getting married in front of people and shit like that. And for 6 months later go by, and then you say, first you put out that you want everything equally split, that you deserve all the assets, millions and shit that he got. Nah, hell nah, you don't deserve none of that for sure. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy that you said that, and then all of a sudden you went backtracked and tried to redact what you said. You know what I mean? But when the report initially came out, the TMZ reported, goddammit, you wanted everything split down the middle, all the millions and all that shit. You feel me? Now you was like, then you changed it up and said you don't want shit. But that's wild as fuck to be together 6 months and you think you finna get half of what the nigga done earned all his life. You know what I mean? That shit is wild as fuck. You should go kick rocks with that one for sure. You know what I mean? So I'd see why you backtracked, because goddamn it, ain't no motherfucking way that you was finna get 50% of what the nigga got, and you only gave 50%, not even 50% of yourself to the nigga for divorcing this nigga after 6 months. months. That shit is wild. You feel me? That shit wild as fuck. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, you know what I mean? I hope they resolve that if that's what they want to do. You feel me? If they don't want to, I hope they can go off and be happy with whoever they are destined to be happy with. You know what I mean? But yeah, you know what I'm saying? This has been episode 274. You know what I'm saying? Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching, no matter who you is. You feel me? You could have been a little brother, little sister. You know what I'm saying? Could have been a little cousin, older cousin. Could have been a niece. Could have been a nephew. Could have been an uncle, an auntie. Could have been a grandma, a father, a grandpa, a grandma. You feel me? A mother. You know what I'm saying? Wherever you is. And if you got pets sitting there with you, whether your pet is a cat, you have a pet dog, you have a pet ferret, a squirrel, a fox, you have a pet hedgehog, you have a pet snake, you know what I'm saying? You can have a pet alligator, you have a pet motherfucking chihuahua, you have a pet giraffe, whoever your pet is, you feel me? If they got eyes and ears on Kons podcast, I definitely fucks with them, you feel me? Like you see my emoji, nigga, my emoji homie scrolling up the screen. Salute ya. You know what I mean? Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching. You feel me? Here the beat getting louder. You know what I'm saying? The beat that you hear creeping was made by Amazing Beats, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? So listen to this beat. You feel me? And peep these credits. You know what I'm saying? And let Amazing talk to you one time while these credits roll in front of your optical. You know what I mean? Thank you for watching Kons Podcast episode 274. Thank you.
Constant content.
Wake me, don't you? Wake me, don't you?
Motherfucking podcast. Motherfucking content.
Wake me, don't you? 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 Wake me, don't you?
That they don't know what the fuck they're doing. You understand that? You understand that? What the fuck? And that? You understand that?